Welcome to the Story Lantern. Kabuliwala by Rabindranath Tagore. Long ago, in the bustling streets of Calcutta, lived a little girl named Minnie. She was just 5 years old, full of life, curious about everything, and forever talking. She would chatter to her father endlessly about birds, carriages, neighbors, and things only a child's imagination could weave. One chilly winter morning, Minnie's excited voice stopped suddenly when she saw a tall, broad man passing by her house. He wore a large turban, a long robe, and carried a huge bag slung over his shoulder. His beard was thick, and his eyes were sharp yet kind. He was a Kabuliwala, a dry fruit seller from faraway Kabul in Afghanistan. "Dry fruits, almonds, raisins," he called out in a booming voice. At first, Minnie hid behind her father, frightened. She had heard stories that Kabuliwalas carried children away in their bags, but the man noticed her peeking from behind the curtain and gave her a warm smile. From his bag, he pulled out a handful of raisins and almonds, offering them gently. Slowly, Minnie's fear melted away. The next day, Minnie ran out to greet him. Soon, she and the Kabuliwala became unlikely friends. Minnie would prattle about her dolls, her mischief, and the funny things she saw around the neighborhood. The Kabuliwala, whose real name was Rahmat, would laugh heartily, his deep voice echoing in the courtyard. For Rahmat, Minnie was not just a child of the city. She reminded him of his own little daughter, far away in Kabul. Whenever Minnie talked, he felt as if he was listening to his daughter's voice. This bond gave him warmth in a foreign land where he was alone. But fate was cruel. One day, Rahmat got into a violent fight with a customer over money. In anger, he stabbed the man and was arrested. The courts sentenced him to several years in prison. Life went on. Minnie grew older, went to school, and eventually her childhood friendship with the Kabuliwala faded into memory. Years later, on a festive morning, Rahmat stepped out of prison at last. His hair had grown gray, and his face looked weary, but his heart longed for one thing: to see Minnie again. He found his way back to the house he had visited years ago. There, the courtyard was decorated with flowers and lights. The sound of music and laughter filled the air. It was Minnie's wedding day. Rahmat asked to meet her. At first, her family was reluctant, but then they allowed it. When Minnie came out, dressed in her bridal sari with her face glowing under the veil, Rahmat froze. His heart ached. This was no longer the little girl who once giggled at his raisins and almonds. She was a grown woman, ready to begin a new life. For the first time, Rahmat realized how much time he had lost. His own daughter, back in Kabul, must also have grown up without him. A wave of sorrow swept over him. Minnie's father, seeing Rahmat's grief, understood. Though weddings were expensive and money was tight, he pressed a small bundle of cash into Rahmat's hand. "Go back to your land," he said softly, "and meet your daughter. Do not lose any more time." Rahmat's eyes filled with tears. He touched his forehead in gratitude and walked away, carrying not just almonds and raisins in his bag, but also the hope of reuniting with his child. Moral of the story: love between a parent and child knows no borders. Time and distance may separate people, but the heart always remembers. Like and subscribe.